Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review After the Murder of Albert Lima. And this new documentary from Aengus, the director, focuses on a man after 13 years of failing to get his father's murderer sent to prison, takes things into his own hands, hires a team, and goes down to Honduras to try to capture him and bring him to prison. And this brings up so many moral potential questions and issues because, should they be doing this? Should they be taking the law into their own hands? Is this legal? Can they do this? What's going to happen to them if they try to do this? Is this young man's life worth giving up potentially to get justice for his father's death? And this film really deals with this son's journey and the expedition that he goes on and all the baggage that he brings along the way, and how important this is for him, trying to make sure that his father's killer gets brought to justice, and how far he'll go. And this documentary paints that in a very compelling way. It deals with the grief and his sadness and what he deals with on a daily basis from this loss. And that lack of closure pushes him so far to make sure that he can get that closure for himself, for his mother, and for everybody else who knew his father, and trying to make sure that he's able to realize that and make sure this man goes to prison for what he did. This film gets very emotional. There's some deeply moving moments where this man breaks down, remembering his father, really trying to get what he needs to do to make sure this man gets punished for what he did and faces his peers and faces justice. There's some intense moments where he tries to step a little too far beyond the boundaries of what he should be doing and is threatened. And those are some intense moments as he has his camera running in his pocket. You can hear these conversations, people threatening his life. And moments like that can be a little bit exploitative and feel like they're veering away from a documentary about a man trying to get justice for his father to being more like a dramatic kind of thriller moment. And they do feel a little exploitative in that way, but they definitely are intense. And this film feels a little staged at those kinds of moments, setting up these moments to really bring that dramatic heft to this film that a narrative would have built into them. So they go out of their way to try to build up some of that tension, and there's moments that don't feel as interesting and maybe didn't need to be in this film because it is very natural exactly what's going on, and sometimes things are just backed up and they're just conversations going on and not exactly something so compelling. But it is an impactful experience. Emotionally, it brings the thrills. It has all those things going for it. And this is a crazy story that's really worth checking out. This documentary balances those things, the exploitation, the emotion, in a relatively strong way to the point where this is a worthwhile documentary. And you hope going into this that this man gets his closure, and there's emotional outcomes either way, and this film really captures what actually happens. And in the end, this is definitely a documentary worth checking out. But those are my thoughts on After the Murder of Albert Lima. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.